Happiness is like a butterfly which, when pursued, is always beyond our grasp, but, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. To do nothing is the way to be nothing. Death should take me while I am in the mood. She could no longer borrow from the future to ease her present grief. Let men tremble to win the hand of woman, unless they win along with it the utmost passion of her heart. Every individual has a place to fill in the world and is important in some respect, whether he chooses to be so or not. We men of study, whose heads are in our books, have need to be straightly looked after. We dream in our waking moments, and walk in our sleep. Do anything, save to lie down and die. There is something truer and more real, than what we can see with the eyes, and touch with the finger. Moonlight is sculpture, sunlight is painting.
A single dream is more powerful than 1,000 realities. Easy reading is damn hard writing. She had not known the weight until she felt the freedom. Love, whether newly born or aroused from a death-like slumber, must always create sunshine, filling the heart so full of radiance, that it overflows upon the outward world. Oh, for the years I have not lived, but only dreamed of living.
We dream in our waking moments, and walk in our sleep.
Easy reading is damn hard writing. No man, for any considerable period, can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude, without finally getting bewildered as to which may be the true. I cannot endure to waste anything so precious as autumnal sunshine by staying in the house. Words, so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in a dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them.
She could no longer borrow from the future to ease her present grief. I have laughed, in bitterness and agony of heart, at the contrast between what I seem and what I am. She wanted what some people want throughout life, a grief that should deeply touch her, and thus humanize and make her capable of sympathy. No summer ever came back, and no two summers ever were alike. Times change, and people change, and if our hearts do not change as readily, so much the worse for us. If truth were everywhere to be shown, a scarlet letter would blaze forth on many a bosom. Happiness is not found in things you possess, but in what you have the courage to release. Shall we never get rid of this past? It lies upon the present like a giant's dead body. Hold thy peace, dear little Pearl, whispered her mother. We must not always talk in the marketplace of what happens to us in the forest. And there I sat, long ago, waiting for the world to know me. There are many things in this world that a child must not ask about. The sorrow that lay cold in her mother's heart, converted it into a tomb. What other dungeon is so dark as one's own heart? What jailer so inexorable as one's self? When an uninstructed multitude attempts to see with its eyes, it is exceedingly apt to be deceived. She poured out the liquid music of her voice to quench the thirst of his spirit. All merely graceful attributes are usually the most evanescent. It is very queer, but not the less true, that people are generally quite as vain, or even more so, of their deficiencies than of their available gifts. We sometimes congratulate ourselves at the moment of waking from a troubled dream, it may be so at the moment after death. A forced smile is uglier than a frown. Life is made up of marble and mud. In the depths of every heart there is a tomb and a dungeon, though the lights, the music, and the revelry above may cause us to forget their existence. Happiness in this world, when it comes incidentally. Make it the object of pursuit, and it leads us a wild goose chase, and is never attained. Time flies over us, but leaves its shadow behind. The horrible ugliness of this exposure of a sick and guilty heart to the very eye that would gloat over it. For when a man's spirit has been thoroughly crushed, he may be peevish at small offenses, but never resentful of great ones. Strength is incomprehensible by weakness, and, therefore, the more terrible. Next to the lightest heart, the heaviest is apt to be most playful. I'm as provocative of tears as an onion. People always grow more foolish, unless they take care to grow wiser and wiser. If a man, sitting all alone, cannot dream strange things, and make them look like truth, he need never try to write romances. The wrongdoing of one generation lives into the successive ones. All brave men love, for he only is brave who has affections to fight for. Might and wrong combined, like iron magnetized, are endowed with irresistible attraction. With heaven above and faith below, I will yet stand firm against the devil. Nobody, I think, ought to read poetry, or look at pictures or statues, who cannot find a great deal more in them than the poet or artist has actually expressed. A pure hand needs no glove to cover it.